Happy Sunday, everybody. We are 1 hour and 40 minutes away from our Sunday Week 2 slate. And so I'm here in the studio to answer your questions. Of course, we got to get our lineup set for Week 2. So appreciate you guys all joining me. If you would, drop a like. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you haven't done that already. Appreciate you guys all being here. Answer as many of these as I can. Of course, I got the link pinned. If you'd like to get yours answered on the site, we'll prioritize those. But again, the idea is to help you out with your lineups as much as humanly possible here. So Harris was here early. He says Travis Hunter or Odunze. I actually have Odunze ranked, Travis Hunter ranked ahead of Odunze this week, and so I'm probably going to say Travis Hunter there. We do have our rankings updated for this week, and so we'll go through all that as well. I wish my comments would show up on the screen. Boom. Come on. There we go. Hollywood or JMO? I go Hollywood Brown this week. We're starting one here. We're doing Ridley or Pickens in a PPR league. They are like back-to-back for me this week, so that's tough. Pickens has the better matchup. I'll probably just go Pickens there. May or Caleb or Trevor Lawrence. I'd probably go Drake May there this week. Samson or Swifty? You go Swifty for sure. Fields or Dak here? Probably Fields this week again. Even though it's a tough matchup, you got to go with the rushing upside, I think. So I'll answer again. I'll keep answering as many of these as I can. Appreciate you guys all jumping in here. Let's jump over to the site. Those people who have submitted questions on the site, we'll knock some of those out. Again, if you'd like to get your team, your lineup up on the screen, you'd like me to take a look at it, give you some start-sit advice for this week, got the link in the comments right there. It's very easy. Just follow the link to do that, and we will take care of you. So let's jump over here. Let's do this thing. All right, start-sit questions from Bender's Gone Willis. It's Trevion, DJ Moore, or Monty, Caleb, or Kyler. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Can't select it here, obviously, but you gave me the options. Between Trevion, DJ Moore, and Montgomery, I'd probably just go Trevion Henderson there. Between Caleb or Kyler, I would say Kyler Murray this week. So, obviously, very close for us. Between the running backs, you have Trevion Henderson. We have him at 27. We have Montgomery right behind him at 29. And then DJ Moore, we have as the wide receiver, I think 26 this week. Well, 25 is where I have DJ Moore. And so I would just do the running back there. I'd go Trevion Henderson. In terms of Caleb or Kyler, again, you're looking at a matchup. Kyler Murray, obviously, playing Carolina today. That's a very good matchup for the Carolina Panthers, or for the Arizona Cardinals. So I think I'm going to go with Kyler there. So appreciate you, man. Let me know if you got any questions. All right, start-sit question from Sal. Appreciate you, Sal. Not the Sal I play with in the Flock League. Looks like you've got your lineup set out. We'll kind of go through it here. Between Chase Brown and Jordan Mason, obviously you want to go Chase Brown there. Omarion Hampton or Jordan Mason, you want to go Hampton. And then looking at your wide receivers, so you've got Neighbors and Nico. You got to start both those guys, in my opinion. And Njoku over Fannin is fine. And then in your flexes, you've got Tony Pollard, which I think he's a must-start this week as well. And then DK, you've got over Mason, Pickens, JMO. And looking at where we have DK ranked this week compared to some of these other guys, we have DK at 19 compared to those other guys kind of in the 30s. So your lineup is how I would have it, Sal. I would leave it. Obviously a 10-team league, but it looks like you're going to be good to go. So we do appreciate you, man. Please, if I'm going to put you in timeout if you spam. Sorry. Don't spam, please, y'all. That's not going to make me answer your question any quicker. So, in fact, I probably don't want to answer your question if you put the same message in my chat 8 times. Tet or Ibuka? I have T-Mac ranked higher this week, so we'll go T-Mac. And then in your flex, you're going between Ibuka, Hampton, or Henderson. I'd go Hampton there. So, appreciate you, Trophy Stealer. Thanks for jumping in. Fannin, Kincaid, or Juwan Johnson? I updated rankings last night. Let's take a look at the updated rankings here, because we actually moved Juwan Johnson up. Johnson is at 15 for week 2. Fannin is still at 11. And then Kincaid is... Where do we have Kincaid this week? He's the Jets. We've got him pretty low. But he shouldn't be that low, I don't think. I think he should be here. I would probably go Fannin there. So I appreciate you. How's the match looking this week? Who's projected more? Mason's projected by like 8 points right now. It's about a 55-45 split in terms of odds right now, and so we'll see. Obviously, I'm a little bit of an underdog. Mason seems pretty solid, but hopefully Jamar Chase carries me this week. That's what I'm hoping. It's the Jamar Chase revenge game. So we'll hope that comes into play. But I'm going to turn on Nightbot for you frickers. Oh, repetitions on. Okay, cool. All right. Going back to our next start-sit question here from Nasty Nate. Appreciate you, Nasty Nate. Flexing DeAndre Swift, Pearsall, Kenneth Walker, or Zach Charbonnet. I go Swifty over the two Seahawks back since Pearsall or Swifty. I go Swifty here. So I would take Swifty here, Nate. Start the running back's going to get a bunch of touches this week. Appreciate you, man. Jason's got a trade question here for us. This is a super flex redraft. Ward's on waivers. I hope to pick him up. He'd be trading away Penix and Keon Coleman for Etienne and Ridley. Yeah, I would easily do this. Man. You're getting two guys you can start every week in a 12-team start 9 league. Like, yeah, I think that's a no-brainer in my opinion. So, yeah, pick up Cam Ward. Pick up Cam Ward and you'll be fine. All right. Last flex spot here. We've got Samson in 1. It really would be between Downs, Booty. Really, Downs, Booty. Calvin Austin, you could put here. I'd probably just go Booty this week in this lineup. So, I'm trying to think where I have Booty ranked compared to Downs. I know we moved Downs down quite a bit this week. 47 for Booty. Where is Downs? I'm just blind. There he is, 57. I'm an idiot. And we have Booty at 47. So, yeah, I'd go Booty. Yep. I think you got to ride the momentum there. Obviously, picking him up off waivers and such. So, Chase, boys, got a start-sit question for us here. Y'all, seriously, if you keep spamming, I'm seriously just going to start putting you on. I don't know why you don't understand. You're about to make me go all totalitarian on you. Totalitarian. Please don't spam your messages. Appreciate it. Last flex spot here, Etienne, Hampton, or Ibuka. I mean, your best running back here is Ibuka. Your best running back here is Hampton. 16 for Hampton for me this week in my ranks. I've got him ranked 3 spots higher than Travis Etienne, 2 spots higher, and then Ibuka obviously is a mid wide receiver 2 for this week. I would start the running back though. So, appreciate you, Chase. All right. We think a bounce back game for Downs with PS2 in the mix. Maybe, because, I mean, again, wide receiver 2s in tough matchups tend to have good games. And so maybe that's what's going to happen here. I think Tyler Warren's still going to eat. I don't know. It could go a couple different ways. So Showtime's got a start-sit question for us here. We got 2 flex spots that we're going to be looking at here. Jordan Mason, Zach Charbonnet, Corey Krosky, Merritt, Travis Hunter. So really, really good flex spots here. Wow. I would probably just say go your rookie wide receivers here. I think that's how I want to approach this. I don't really love any of these running backs above these rookie wide receivers here, especially with the matchups that they have today. You know, T-Mac's got Arizona, Travis Hunter's got Cincinnati, and so I think it's a favorable matchup for both of them. I think you start both of those guys. I think your lineup, the rest of your lineup is great. So that's how I would do that. Showtime. Appreciate ya. All right, pick 2. Brown, Odunze, Swift, or Henderson. It's between Swift, who we have at running back 23 this week. Really, it's between Swifty or Odunze. I'd probably just start Swift. I want to start the running back there, so. Appreciate your PPR second flex, Warren or Olave. Oh, that's tough. I don't love flexing a tight end, but it's honestly a good matchup to flex Tyler Warren, I feel like. So we'll go Tyler Warren there in the flex spot. We're going Downs or Booty in the flex. We'll go Booty. Again, we've got Booty ranked about 10 spots higher this week. Hollywood, Pickens, or Hampton. Picking one there, I would start Hampton over those guys personally. This is Hampton. I don't know what you guys think. I think this is Hampton's breakout week. They play at 1 o'clock, I think. I think they play Vegas at 1. Oh no, they play tomorrow. Oh, really? At 10? Dude, I'm going to be up so late watching that game. Probably sweating it out. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to be up so late. A 10 o'clock Monday night game. Because they put 2 and they separated them out. I do like that we have 2 games tomorrow night, though. That is going to stink. But he's projected 14 right now. I think he'll have a good game. Man. 10 o'clock. I forgot about that. What's up, Michael? Need some high upside wide receivers. JC left hanging. Yeah, I gotcha. High upside. Got to go Harrison for sure. Upside, I would go Harrison and T-Mac, honestly. So I go Harrison and T-Mac. So East Coast is the best. I don't know, Jeff, what you're talking about. East Coast is awesome. 10 o'clock's fine. I'm a night owl. Mooney or Charbonnet, flex in a full point PPR league. It's close. I'd probably go Charbonnet, though. I'd probably lean the running back there. Mooney is playing, and he's, healthy for this week. And so I am starting Darnell Mooney where I can, or where I need to, rather. Yeah, he doesn't have any restrictions, I don't think. And so that's, worth considering here as he ramps up. I think he's going to be somebody who's going to get a ton of volume in that offense and honestly be pretty fantasy productive as it is. So, okay. Half point PPR tight end. You've got Henry, Johnson, or Fannin. Probably Fannin, I think, is who I have ranked the highest this week. Henry's right there. Hunter Henry's a solid starting option. No, I do have Hunter Henry ranked higher against Miami. Yeah, I would go Hunter Henry. That's what my brain said. Thank you. Start Juwan Johnson or Jalen Waddle at flex. Yeah, that's a great question, isn't it? That's a great question. Waddle's probably, it's safer to start a wide receiver than it is a tight end. So he's probably, but honestly, there's nothing safe about Jalen Waddle right now. There's nothing safe about Waddle. Waddle last week, 5 targets, 7 points. Last year, that's pretty much what he did. Like, I would probably say Waddle's the upside play. But the floor play is probably the tight end, which usually that's not the case here. So, Hollywood or Pearsall. I go Hollywood there. I've got Hollywood ranked a little bit higher than Ricky Pearsall. What's up, Dylan? Good to see you. Olave or Warren? Let's go. I just got asked this one. I'd still go Olave there, I think. Armin says, in a 12-team half PPR, you're starting 2 here. Henderson, Warren, or Keenan Allen. So another Warren in the flex spot type deal here. I would go Henderson and Warren there. And should I trade Braylon for Tootin? That's an even trade. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with that. I know there's a lot of people with lots of 3 tight ends, so. Hollywood or Pearsall? Yeah, I think Hollywood. I already answered that one. Yeah, you put it twice. Please don't spam. Appreciate how you take time to answer the comments. Not everyone can afford the question. Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I ask is that you guys don't put your same comment 6 times. Like, it's not going to, in fact, it just makes me not want to answer it because there are other people here that also want their questions answered. That's the only thing I ask. Just don't spam. I need my mods. Where are my mods at? 3 wide receiver, 2 flex, half point PPR. Pick one: Ridley, Boutte, or Jordan Mason. Oof. It's between Ridley and Mason. I'd probably go Ridley there. Ridley's probably my choice there. So starting 2 here: Hampton, Connor, and Javonte. Appreciate you, Justin. I would go Hampton and Connor. Hampton and Connor for me. Travis Etienne or Jonathan Taylor. I'd start JT every week. So, bye, Anna. Good to see you. Sorry, last one. Henderson over Sharbs and Walker this week. Yeah. Rome or Olave, go. Fact check. Rome or Olave. I'm pretty sure I have Rome higher. I do have Rome higher. I'm going to pull up our week 2 rankings here. Yeah. So I would probably go Rome. I think you got to start Rome after what he did last week, honestly. Like, he was pretty darn good last week. Etienne or Pearsall, I would always start the running back here. I'd go Etienne, get the guaranteed volume. Pearsall obviously playing without Mac. I still like Pearsall this week, but not over a running back like Etienne. Is it because of the QB situation, why we start Hollywood over Pearsall? Yeah, it's QB situation is one, but also, like, I mean, Hollywood had 16 targets in that offense last week. He's a much safer play. He's a much higher floor play, and so I'm just starting. I think Hollywood's a must start. Where when Xavier Worthy's now, I haven't even heard. What time does Kansas City plays at 4? They play the Eagles in the game of the week. So what is the status with Worthy? I haven't heard anything this morning. I know he's been practicing. It says out. He's out. Okay, I actually didn't know that. Wow, he's the wide receiver 1,212 right now. That's crazy. He really sucks this year. Because Bush owns him, that's why. So without Worthy as well, like you have a very strong case to just start him there. So see, we do have the new feature on the site where you can actually add in stats here. I would like to just add normal stats. Running back finish, tight end finish, wide receiver finish. Where's my quarterback finish? Okay, they haven't done it yet. But it's pretty cool. You can kind of add stuff in here. Nice. Okay. Full point PPR here. We're going Henderson, Rome, Javonte, or George Pickens. It's between Hendo and Rome. I would probably start Rome Odunze there, to be honest with you. I'd probably start Rome Odunze. It's a half point PPR. You got a flex here. Pollard, Odunze, or Charbonnet. Pollard, Odunze, or Charbonnet. Again, I mean, in that case, I would start Pollard. I feel a little bit better about Pollard than I do Henderson. And you can see in my ranks this week that I have Henderson ranked at 27. I have Pollard ranked at 19. And so that's the difference when you're deciding between Rome and one of those running backs. So start Marvin Harrison or McMillan. I got to go Marv. I've got to have Marv ranked at 13 this week. Yeah, I mean, I think you got to start Marv. Marv crushed last week, so. Worthy's ready for week 3. Juju's my prediction for the Chiefs surprise wide receiver. They've dropped hints. Yeah, but I also part of it is, what they say is one thing, but part of it is what you see the quarterback do when the quarterback loses his number 1 receiver. And so that's what he feels most comfortable with. He feels most comfortable with Hollywood Brown. He was throwing Hollywood Brown the ball even when Hollywood Brown looked bad, and then he started looking better as the game went on. Tracy or Swifty? I go Swifty there. I got Swifty at 23. I've got Tracy at 21. They're in the same tier. Tracy has Dallas. Swifty has Detroit. Okay, so maybe I don't know. Tracy, Cook, Swifty are all kind of the same for me this week. I'm going to move Swift up in my rankings. I'm going to say Swift there. Full point. Smith or Olave. I moved Smitty up because of the injury to Dallas Goedert. I think you got to start Smitty. Tyreek, DJ Moore, or Myers. You're picking 2 there. We will go Myers and DJ Moore. Go Myers and Moore. I've got Tyreek and Jacoby Myers back to back here, you can see, but I just feel more comfortable starting Jacoby Myers. T-Mac, Travis Hunter, or Rome. Again, we got T-Mac at 18. We got Travis Hunter at 23. We got Rome at 26. We'll go T-Mac against the Arizona Cardinals. I think this could be his first big game in the NFL today. Rome or Pickens in a full point PPR league. Rome has the Lions. Pickens has the Giants. I would still say Rome Odunze there. Still have him higher than Pickens for this week. So Etienne or Pollard, I've got them ranked 2 spots apart this week. I've got Etienne at 18, Pollard at 19, 1 spot apart. I would still lean Etienne. Going to be in a higher scoring game against Cincinnati, a game where they might throw a lot of checkdowns, and so go Etienne. Juwan Jennings active for week 2. This affects Ricky's value. No, I don't think really. I think Ricky's still a starter. I think Juwan Jennings is a sit by all means. I'm torn on Chuba versus Marv. Yeah. Chuba versus Marv, that's tough because you got the wide receiver 13 for us this week versus Chuba, who is the wide receiver running back 14, playing Arizona. I think you've got to go Chuba Hubbard there. I think you got to start Chuba. It sucks to bench Marv. Marv or Ibuka, you go Marv. Dobbins or Sampson. You go Dobbins this week, I think. Sampson or Charbonnet. I've got Charbonnet ranked higher, and with Quinshawn getting in the mix today, Quinshawn does, it seems like he's going to get some snaps today. And so expected to play 10 to 15 snaps. I mean, even that is going to cut into Dylan Sampson's workload. And so, but, you know, 10 to 15 snaps for Judkins today is a good sign for you Judkins owners, by the way. It's a good sign for Nate as well. Nate was not wrong. He was just early. So, all right, got the link down below if you'd like to get your start sit question answered on the stream. Dak or Drake May here. I want to double check where I have Drake May ranked. I think I have him 13. I have Dak much lower than that this week, right? Oh no, I have Dak at 8. Oh, because Dak plays the Giants. Duh, it's a good matchup for Dak. We'll go Dak. T-Mac or Devontae Adams in a non-PPR league. I think T-Mac is who I have ranked higher. I think I have Devontae Adams at 21 and T-Mac at 18, so I go T-Mac there. Scat or Tootin in the last flex. It's a deep league. I'd probably say Scataboo. I'd probably go Scataboo. Scat we have ranked right now 56. Tootin we have ranked at 55. You caught our back-to-back running backs here. Deep plays for this week. I would go Scat, to be honest with you. Walker or Charbonnet in a half-point PPR. I would go... Well, in a half-point PPR, you can make an argument for Walker, but Charbonnet is going to be the guy, it looks like. So we'll see what this week looks like for that split. Sutton or Jacoby Myers in a PPR league. I'd go Sutton. I think you have to start Sutton. You need 2 here. What's up, DOD Drummer? PPR league. Tracy, QJ, Harvey, or Rashid Shaheed. Of those guys, QJ's out, Harvey's out. It's Tracy, and it's Shaheed for me. Mooney or Booty? Money or Booty, huh? It's a hard choice. Hard choice. But I would go Mooney this week, if I'm being honest with you. I think I've moved Mooney up since then. 48. Booty. 50. Oh, 47. I have him back to back. You guys find the most fun ways to test my rankings, don't you? I think you got to start Mooney. I would personally be on board with Mooney right now. So, yeah. Pick one here. PPR flex. Dobbins, Pollard. It's got to be Pollard. If he gets a touchdown, a goal line touchdown, Dynasty Market's going to free. Yeah, I know. Yes, they will. It's a start 2.5 point PPR here for Justin. Justin, what's up, man? Smitty, DJ Moore, Aaron Jones. We'll go Smitty and DJ Moore there. Curious, let's say Quinshawn gets 8 carries, 30 yards, and a touchdown. How high we climb in the current market? A little bit. I think he's going to climb no matter what now that people are seeing him playing. And so just the fact that he's going to get any snaps at all today, I think is a very good sign. So I think he's going to be climbing. Appreciate you, James. Thanks for watching, man. Dak or Jay Fields? As well, I actually have Dak ranked higher than I thought I did. But I have Fields at 7, and so we're going to go there. Drop a like if you would. We got 32 likes. We got over 100 people watching. If you drop a like, appreciate it. Help support the stream. A couple hours till football. Sports morning streams. George says, start one on the flex here. Jordan Mason, Keenan Allen, Dylan Sampson, Nick Chubb, or Kayshon Boutte. Jordan Mason for me there. Tua or Geno, we'll go Geno. Boutte or QJ, I got to make sure I have Boutte actually ranked behind QJ. QJ 43, Boutte 47, we'll go QJ this week. Pick 2 for a full point PPR here. McMillan, Pickens, Marv, or Mason. You got to go Marv and T-Mac, in my opinion. You got to start your 2 best guys there, Marv and T-Mac. Diggs, Pittman, or Jalen Warren. I would probably still go Pittman there this week. In terms of where we have Warren for the running back rankings, we got him at 33. Wide receiver, we've got Pittman at wide receiver 37. I'd probably be more comfortable there with Pitty, to be honest with you. Pearsall, Pollard, or Keon in a full point PPR. I would go Pollard there for sure. Answer my start set with Boutte. Just wondering if it's safe with May and Henderson already in my lineup. Yeah, it's a little bit. Again, I guess that's something you have to consider, but I don't know if it's a tiebreaker and you want to decide because of that and go the other way. I can't remember what your other option was, Nick. I totally fine with that. That makes sense. Diversifying is not a bad thing here. Pick one here: Pearsall, Odunze, or Pollard. Yeah, you got to go Pollard there. You got to go Pollard there. You've got McBride, Warren, and Fannin. I get 3 tight end teams. I get 3 tight end teams in its regular format. It's crazy. But I'm hoping they change Fannin's designation to tight end wide receiver. May have to drop a trade otherwise. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that, so I think you're going to have to drop him. I would trade him if I were you. If you've got 3 of those tight ends, somebody in your league needs a tight end, so trade him away. Flex spot, ETN, Pollard, or Metcalf. We'll go Pollard there in the flex. Njoku, Ferguson, or Henry. We're going to go Hunter Henry there. Start 2 here, Hampton, Wilson, or Chuba. Tough, but I'm going to go Wilson and Chuba there. Ingram, Fannin, or Juwan Johnson. I would say Fannin still. I do still have Fannin ahead of Juwan Johnson. So I have Juwan Johnson this week at 15. I have Fannin at 11. So I was offered Drake London and George Kittle for Wilson and Dobbins. Am I dumb for rejecting it? You trading away Wilson and Dobbins, you get. I mean, if you have the depth, especially if you have the depth at running back to do that, then I would definitely take it. It just depends on your team, though. What's up, Kyle? Fannin or Ferguson? I go Fannin here. Aaron Jones or JMO? I'd go JMO on a full point PPR. 3 of Evans, Marv, Higgins. You got to go Marv. Marv's a start. Marv, Evans, and Higgins for me. Hunter or Coleman? We'll go Hunter there pretty easily. Loveland, Strange, Fannin, or Chig Okonkwo? I think you got to go Fannin there. I think you got to. If you prefer Cook or Kamara, rest of season, full point PPR. Yeah, my rest of season ranks are free, by the way. But between Cook and Kamara, obviously very close. I've got them in the same tier. I've got Kamara as my running back 16. Cook as my running back 15. So they're back-to-back in my rankings rest of season. And so just a matter of preference at that point, I think. Flex start question. Should I roll the dice with Bowers in a tight end premium league or go with Diggs? I would go Bowers there. You're picking 2 here between Jefferson, McMillan, Tyreek, and Jacoby Myers. I would go I'd go Jefferson and McMillan there. Yeah, that would be my choice. The Jefferson one's the easy one. It's the second one, but you got to go Jefferson still. All right. Let's look at an injury report here. Let's go through the injuries for this week, talk about that, and then we'll get back to answering some start-sit cues. But I'll start with quarterbacks. Purdy's obviously out. We knew that. Running backs, Jalen Wright is obviously still out. Quinshon Judkins is going to make his debut today. We already talked about that a little bit. Obviously, that's going to be big for his fantasy stock, so we'll see what happens. I'm not starting Quinshon today, though. He's only going to get 10 to 15 snaps. Goodson's questionable. It's DJ Giddens' season. Oh, yeah, Will Shipley is out. How about that? That's why they acquired Tank Bigsby. Duh. I didn't actually ever officially hear that Will Shipley was hurt, but that makes sense. Wide receivers, Godwin's obviously out. Worthy, we know, is out. Juwan Jennings is going to play, it seems like. Just checking Twitter here, it looked like somebody said that he was going to play, and so we're going to roll with that. See if Shefty tweeted it. Wow, this is crazy. The Ravens planned to take Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, but Baltimore was going to turn their card, and Shedeur Sanders let it be known that he didn't want to be on a roster with Lamar Jackson where he would be a backup. That's crazy. What an idiot. Juwan Jennings, yes, is expected to play. Trent Williams is game time. So Trent Williams is just as important for that Niners team there. But so Juwan Jennings is going to play. Kirk is out again. Mooney is going to play. Wandale is questionable. I haven't heard anything about Wandale. Jalen Rose isn't relevant. Seems like Bowers is going to play, though. Kittle's obviously out. Goddard is going to be out as well. So some big tight end Some big tight end ones here. But overall, for a week 2 injury report, it could be a lot worse, I feel like. And so I'm thankful for that this week. All right. Thank you, David. My goodness. Finally, my mods are here. I need my mods on days like this. Full point PPR, Henderson, Javonte, Rome, Pickens. You're going to start 1 there? Ooh, I think I've got Javonte ranked the highest of those guys. 20 for Javonte. Yeah. And then I think you got to start Javonte Williams there. I would start your running back. Juwan Jennings or Nick Chubb rest of season. I'd go Juwan Jennings there still. ETN or Henderson, go ETN. Yeah, no, spam's not happening. Darnold or Bryce Young for my super flex. Matchup-wise this week, Darnold's just not startable in fantasy, I don't think. Pittsburgh, I'd start Bryce Young. Start Bryce Young for sure. Trent Williams active from what I've heard of 9 strength, perfect. That's good. That's good that Trent Williams is going. They need him bad without Purdy. I mean, McMillan, we're starting even when having a matchup against Will. I think so. Yeah, I've been telling people just to still start him. I honestly don't think it's going to be that bad for him, so I think he'll do fine. Juwan Jennings or Nick Chubb. Yeah, I answered that one. Pick 2 here, ETN, Genty, Connor. Worried about Genty's matchup. Yeah, I still have Genty the highest, though. I'd go Genty. I've got Genty at 8. So, Wilson or T-Mac. I think I've got Wilson higher still. We will have Wilson higher. We're going to go Wilson. Boutte or K9. I think you start running back there and go K9. Sticky Ricky or Rome, we go Rome there. Flex spot, you've got Henderson, QJ, Odunze, Ridley, or Jameson Williams. It's tough because it's between Henderson. I think I probably go Odunze. Between Henderson and Odunze for me. Full point PPR, I'd start Henderson. Oh, sorry, no. I started Odunze there, Robert. My bad. Tracy or Javonte for running back 2. I'd go Javonte there. Davis has no questions. Made a blockbuster trade in the live league to push in chips. Dude, you're not going to win that league. That's my league. You're not going to win. You're playing for second. You know that, right? Quit trying to win that league, dude. Let me have it. I won that league last year. What trade did you make? I'm curious. Where is it? The live league. Where's the live league? There it is. What did you do? You traded for AJ Brown and Pickens, and you traded 2 firsts. Wow, your entire future and Dart. But you got AJ Brown back. That's a good deal for you. But here's the thing, it's my league. Whatever, we'll see. I got Justin Fields. I literally drafted Justin Fields for this season. That's why I drafted him. Everybody knows my team was the best last year. Second most points in week 1 too, so that's a good trade for you though. Fields or Baker this week? We go Baker, I think. I've got Baker as a top 5, I think. No, I have Baker actually behind Fields. I lied because they play the Texans. It's hard not to rank Fields that high, man. It's hard. It's a coin flip because they're in the same tier. Wilson or Sutton, back-to-back. 14 and 15 for me this week. Sutton has the Colts. I would probably say Sutton. In fact, what we're going to do here... Let's go in and actually move Sutton up our rankings a little bit for this week because he is playing the Colts. I honestly, like, Sutton is a must-start for me right now, so I think you gotta. Somebody else I want to move here. I can't remember what. Move James Cook up here a little bit. Still more comfortable starting him than a lot of those guys. So... in terms of, though, Fields versus Baker, realistically, these guys should probably be back-to-back for me, and I don't care which one you start. It really is. It really is a coin flip. They're going to be, Fields has the tougher matchup. but Baker's more consistent, so, you know. We're flexing 1.5 point PPR. It's Pearsall, Swift, Mason. The opponent has CMC and Detroit defense. Ooh. Swifty would be my choice there. What did Swift do last week? Can't remember. He had all the work there. He had 81% snap share. He had 17 attempts, 5 targets. Only had 9 points though, because no big plays, no touchdowns. And so you do have to hope that DeAndre Swift scores a touchdown this week. I will say that. So Rome Odunze or Ricky, I go Rome for sure. If you could trade Samson right now and get Judkins, would you do it? Yes, I would do that in a heartbeat. Last flex here, Butte, Leggett, Downs. I'd probably go Booty. Sinisart sit. All right, I got you, man. I thought I refreshed it. I see it now. Thank you. Thanks for telling me that. Again, if you guys want to get your start sit questions, I got the link pinned. You can support the channel. Got it right there. Oh, you can't start Bill. You go Sharps for sure there. You go Sharps for sure in your running back. And then in terms of your last flex, you've got Pearsall, T-Mac. Oh, I would go T-Mac here. I'd start T-Mac. T-Mac. I think you've got to start T-Mac, so. Yeah, I'm with you, Alex. I like him more than Tracy this week, but honestly, he is going to be touchdown dependent. So that's kind of my thought process there. So Coleman or Charbonnet in a flex spot here. I personally would probably go Sharps. Jennings or QJ rest of season. Rest of season, I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure rest of season ranks, I have QJ higher than Jennings. If not, I think I probably should. I don't. I have Jennings still pretty high. So there's a couple moves that need to be made on my rest of season, I think. I need to... So we're talking rest of season for wide receivers. There's a couple things down here that I'm not comfortable with anymore. Marquise Brown, obviously. Keenan Allen, I moved up. I would take Keenan Allen probably over Jennings rest of season. Jennings could... I don't want to get too low on Jennings. Jennings could have a good rest of season, but in terms of like Quentin Johnson, I think Quentin Johnson's probably in this range. I think Cooper and Tillman, I think all of these guys are here as kind of underrated guys. So to answer your question, I would probably say it's a toss-up. I wouldn't blame you at all if you wanted Juwan Jennings there. So as you can see, I'm kind of fishing around with my own rankings, trying to figure out who I would prefer rest of the season anyways. So Javonte Williams, Hollywood, or Pearsall in the flex here. You got to go Javonte there. Start the running back. Dobbins or Henderson in the flex. Let's go Hendo. Pitts or Jawan? Pretty sure this week I have Kyle Pitts higher. One spot higher. Go Pitts. Would you start Bo or Penix and another one, Penix or May? Between Bo and Penix, I would start Bo. Penix or May, I would start May. Penix is the odd guy out there, I think. Penix we have at 27 this week against Minnesota. So, yeah, I'm taking the other guys pretty handily there. Johnston or Wanda, I'd go QJ there. Tillman or Booty this week? Truthfully, I would go Tillman if I were you. I would probably go Tillman, to be honest. If I play Hunter over Njoku, I'd have to drop Njoku. Should I do that, or will they be close enough this week? I don't know. It's tough because rest of season, like... Looking at tight end rest of season rankings, I do have Njoku over Hunter Henry by a decent amount here. I haven't even moved Hunter Henry up, and I need to. So we're going to fix that while we're at it as well. Because right now, Hunter Henry, we had him at 21 to start the season, but I think I would take him over most of these guys. Like, I think he's easily in this tier, guys, here. So now, in terms of Njoku, you know, we still have Njoku higher. I would probably hold on to Njoku and play Njoku. So decided to go Devonta Smith over Henderson for this week. I'm kind of doing the same thing, riding with Devonta Smith. I think he's going to have a good game today. Traded for Drake May. Do I cut Fields or Tua? I would cut Tua there. Feel like you're a little low on Swift. I would take him over Tracy, maybe a few guys above him. But then you said he was good. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even see your comment, and I moved him up. So for this week, yeah. Here's the thing. Swifty is going to be a little bit more touchdown dependent, and we do have to keep that in mind. But he's in this tier with ETN, Pollard, Cook, Javonte, Swift. That's the tier for me. So yeah, I feel a little bit more comfortable with that, though, Alex. I agree with you. 4 point. Mahomes or May? May. 4 point, I think it's got to be. Mahomes we have at 10. May we have at 13. But it's a 4 point. And May has Miami. I don't know, man. I feel like May needs to be higher in these rankings as well. For this week. With a Miami matchup, I feel like May's going to have a decent week against Miami. Like, I would put him in the tier here with Mahomes. So. Selena T-Mac, I know Hollywood and Pearsall could go off on another pin. Yeah, I think you got to just start your best player there. I think that's what you have to do. We going Mooney or K9 this week? That's a good question. I think you've still got to go Kenneth Walker here, so I'm just going to say start Walker. You don't want to be... If Kenneth Walker comes out, has 60% snap share, and scores a touchdown and a half, you're gonna be pissed. How do you score a half a touchdown? You're going to find out today, guys. You're going to find out today. Chet, Igbuka, or Pearsall this week? T-Mac, please. Travis Hunter or Ridley will go Travis Hunter there. Pick 2.5 point PPR. Ridley, Diggs, or Jameson Williams. I'd go JMO and Ridley there. Sit one here between Sutton, Harrison, and McConkey. That's a tough sit. I would probably sit. Woof, man. Woof to that. 3 guys in the same tier, and you're making me decide which one to sit. Look, McConkey, Sutton, and Marv. All back-to-back. By my rankings, I technically have Marv the lowest. Flip a coin, Braden. That's just, I mean, I can't even tell you I prefer 2 over the other there. So, what's good, Justin? How are you, man? Good to see you. Kelsey or Njoku? I do think you probably go Kelsey here. Against Philly, I think you probably go Kelsey, especially with no this is Xavier Worthy. Joe wants me to look at my DMs. Okay. Just for you, Joe. Boop, boop, boop. Let's do it, Joe. That's funny. Hollywood or DJ Moore? I have DJ Moore 4 spots higher than Hollywood this week. I'm going to go DJ Moore, but I get it. I don't understand the Sudden Jennings distaste. Sudden is not the right word for it. There was this gradual, at the beginning of the offseason, I thought I would really like Juwan Jennings. And then Juwan Jennings got hurt, and then he got to the contract dispute, and then he didn't practice. And then Ricky Pearsall looked good last week. It wasn't sudden at all. I mean, we've been out on Juwan Jennings for really 2.5 months now. But, you know, maybe this is why I'm not going to move him down too far, because I think later in the season he could be productive. But beginning of the season, I don't like him at all. You moved Bill in a 4th before the game for a 2nd, 3rd, and Christian Watson. Please clap. It's not bad. That's not bad. I feel like you could have gotten more for Bill, honestly. But ETN or K9, go ETN. Pickens or Hunter, go Hunter. You need K-Dub this week. I don't, because I don't have any K-Dub, because I was screaming from the rooftops that not to draft K-Dub. Not to just victory lap, but I'm just saying I'm so glad I don't have to worry about Charbonnet or Kenneth Walker this year. It's doing very good things for my mental health this year. Ridley or Kenneth Walker, I think you got to go Ridley there. Olave or Coleman, you go Olave. Javonte or Travion, you go Javonte. Rapid fire, boys. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I think we need to get some, obviously a big week in the Flock League. We're going up against Mason. As you can see right now, 9-14, 43% versus 57%, my rival. Also a big game for me. I would fall to 0-2, even though my team's not an 0-2 team in terms of how good it is. Last week we sucked. We got to be better this week. We already made a good start decision, putting Matthew Golden on the bench this week. But I think what we need to do here for the Flock League today is I think we need to go get some advice. So let's go get a start sit. I want somebody to I want a second opinion on my lineup, honestly. So we're going to select the Flock League here. And let's just give them everything, honestly. let's just... Oh, I've got to give him my lineup, though. I knew that. So let's do Mahomes. We're locked in on Mahomes. We got Hampton we're locked in on. We've got Kyron we're locked in on. Now, wide receiver, we're, of course, going to go Chase. At the second wide receiver, let's give him an option. Let's go Smith or Pitty. And then we'll go Laporta. We'll say locked. And then we'll do at the other flex. You know, we already... Actually, I have to change this out. This second wide receiver has to be Terry because he already played. So Terry's locked. Okay, so what about between Pittman and QJ? QJ, Pittman. What else? We could go Calvin Austin here even. So let's go ahead and submit this. Start sit question. Let's just submit it to Mason just for fun. So we'll make Mason set our lineup for this week against him. Oh, it definitely didn't give me a voucher there, JoJo. So we're gonna send that to Mason though. I will check out so you guys cannot see my social security number. That's a joke. You're not seeing that, but didn't give me a voucher. We'll see what he says afterwards. All right, we got our start sit question submitted. Somebody keep me updated on how far down it is in the stream. So we got to get our start sit questions answered too, right? I mean, so it's fine, Joe. Oh man. Okay. It should show up right here for us. I've never bought anything on this account. It should be here. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, gotta get some start sit advice from Mason this week though. So all right. Let's keep going. Kayshawn or Pittman, I'd go Pitty. DK Metcalf revenge game. Yeah, that's true. It is a revenge game. I didn't even realize that. Fields or Lawrence, you go Fields. Kyler or Fields, you go Kyler. Neighbors or ETN in the flex, you go Neighbors. Need two here, Ridley, Abuka, or Tet. Go Abuka and T-Mac there. So you need two more here. Two wide receivers in a flex. Oh, sorry, wide receiver 2 plus a flex. Go Hollywood and go... Woof, between Dobbins and Jameson Williams is what it is for me. I would go Hollywood and Dobbins, to be honest with you. Buka or Tet, we'll go T-Mac there. Travis Hunter or Pearsall. We'll go with Travis Hunter there. What's the difference between 1.0 and 2.0? 2.0 is like the big boy, like really detailed, gives you some more analytical information. 1.0 is just our original, awesome, everything you need for a review. So, Dynasty question, what's Pacheco worth? Man, probably a second at this point. Fannin or Strange PPR, you go Fannin. T-Mac or Tyreek in a full point PPR. I'd go T-Mac there pretty easily. Appreciate you, Nick. Judy, Keenan, or Walker in the flex. Tough. Walker. No, Judy. No, Walker. Judy, Walker. Where do we have Judy? Judy is 38 for us this week. Realistically, I would take him over Pittman this week, so I need to change that. But I go Walker. I go K-Dub there. I've got the link pen if you want to get your lineup looked at on the screen. Romer, Travis Hunter, I go Travis Hunter there. Tua or Matt Stafford in a 6-point. Stafford. Pacheco or Sampson, Pacheco. Chubb and QJ for Jennings and Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. I would take Bill there. I would take Bill pretty easily. Pitts or Fergie, you go Pitts. Goff or Caleb, you go Caleb. Yeah, I got Caleb higher this week. Go Caleb. Hollywood, Javonte, Odunze, or Olave this week. Just one of those guys? Javonte Williams for me. You sort Javonte out of that group. Start the running back there. Hunter Henry or Evan Ingram. I've got Hunter Henry ranked quite a bit higher for this week, so we're going to go Hunter Henry there. David Montgomery or J.K. Dobbins. I've got Monty higher, but not by much. Between Monty and Dobbins, I've got Dobbins at 25. I've got Monty at 29, so I actually have Dobbins higher. Go Dobbins there. Warren versus Olave. Starting Niners defense, so is it clear to go Warren? I don't really care about the defensive matchup, to be honest with you, Dylan. I would start Olave there. Full PPR, you're picking two here. Digley, Fannin, Hendo. I'd go Henderson and Diggs. Henderson and Diggs. Tet over Ibuka. Can get Puka for Tet and 2 firsts. It's a little steep there, Kevin, I think. Scared to start 2 Patriots. I understand, but they're the best guys there. Burrow or Fields will go Burrow. Monty or Tyron Tracy, and running back 2 will go Tracy. Mason or Henderson will go Henderson. Javonte or Ridley. We will go Javonte. Yeah, Javonte. Keenan Allen, Tracy, or Olave. Couple different ways you could go here. Half-point PPR, I think I'd go Tracy. Half-point PPR, I think you got to start the running back there. Pearsall, Travis Hunter, Ridley, or Harvey in a PPR flex. Travis Hunter for me. Start 1 flex here. James Conner, Travion Henderson, or Jacoby Myers. I would start James Conner there. ETN, Travion, or Javonte. ETN for me, but him and Javonte are in the same tier. I would go Ibuka over Pearsall. ETN, Monty, or Henderson. You're picking 2 here. I would go ETN and Hendo. Palmer or Booty. Go Booty. You don't think Fan will get a similar workload, or is just iffy because they're playing the Ravens this week? I just don't know. I think he will, but I don't know that he will because it was his first week in the NFL. I would think if they involved him that much in week 1 that they will do that again. But again, you never know. I just don't know. We don't have a large enough sample size for me to make an educated guess yet. T-Mac over Ibuka. Start full PPR. Starting 2 here. Rome, Monty, Swift, or Charbonnet. Mason's doing mine. I'm going to listen to it real quick. I'll put it through the microphone for you guys.
They're going to do it whether they should or not. Go ahead and let's pull this up. I have a question to ask y'all, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to need a prediction of who y'all think wins this week.
He's doing his whole theatrics thing. Mooney or Juwan Jennings? We'll go Mooney. Let's go Mooney. Pick 2, Hunter, Myers, or Hollywood. I would go Hunter Myers there. Have a Dynasty draft in the middle of the season. Wow. Watch our Dynasty draft video over on the domain channel, the Dynasty domain channel. So, sit one between Swift, Walker, and Pearsall. Sitting one there, I'd probably sit Walker. Swift is the start for me. So, Odunze or Jalen Warren, full point PPR. Odunze or Warren. I mean, I think you got to go Odunze there. So Mason is asking everybody who he thinks is going to win this week, and of course they're all gonna say that he's going to win. Like, I could easily play this game too. Chat, who do you think is going to win this week? Me or Mason? Look, they're all saying Mason. They literally like, I don't know. It's like the scene on SpongeBob where Plankton puts the bucket hats on everybody and they all just say all hail Plankton. That's literally what it is. That's literally what Mason and his cronies are. Yeah, look at that. RP says Mason. Yeah, look. See, we are going to take this. Yeah. Dylan's over there in the chat. Only one. Avery, yeah. You obviously, yeah. Yup. Said Mason in his chat. Yeah, you're playing both sides, Joe. Moore or Ridley, we'll go DJ Moore this week. I'm telling you, it's the Jamar Chase revenge game. Like, Chase is going to absolutely take him to school. Avery by 30. That's what I'm thinking too. I really hope so. I'm gonna be insufferable if he loses to me. Appreciate you, Captain Austin. PPR, you got Devontae Diggs, Ibuka, Keon Coleman, pick 2. I think you got to go Ibuka and Devontae Adams there. So. He's a clown, dude. He's such a clown. I'm going to beat him. He can't beat me. I'm in his head, first of all. And second of all, he literally, like, he's never beat me before at fantasy football. He's not going to. Etienne or Genty, go Genty there. Tet, Ibuka, or Pierce, I'll go Tet. I'm going to pin T-Mac over Ibuka since I've gotten that question. That's been like my most asked question today by far is T-Mac or Ibuka. Look at this. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, again, Squidward, no. Plankton, bucket, hat, helmets. You guys remember this? This is one of the best movies ever created. You remember this? This is Mason's audience. This is Mason's audience, and then there's Mason right there in the middle. Hello. That's him. And all of his cronies. All hail Mason. That's what it is. Realistically, it's 57-43. My projections are dropping this morning, so I don't like that. But he does have a great team. Obviously, he's got 2 running backs in his flex spots, which I heavily prefer over my wide receivers. Also, I can't figure out freaking defense, but it's whatever. We're going to do just fine this week. Again, it's the Jamar Chase revenge game. Jamar Chase gets 50 points. I don't have to worry about anything else. I just need Jamar. And Jamar's going to be ticked after last week, so. Fields or Mahomes? You got to go Fields, I think, this week. Mahomes is a tougher matchup for him playing the Eagles, so I think you got to. Jamar Chase usually a slow starter. The Bengals are usually slow starters. The Bengals usually don't look like themselves until like 4 or 5 weeks in. Like legit, it's every year. So, Knicks or Fields this week? I do need to check. I've got Fields ranked higher. I'm gonna go Fields. At tight end, we'll go Fannin. And then in your last flex here, it's gotta be Tony Pollard. Gotta be Tony Pollard here. So, other than that, I like the rest of your lineup. So, you're looking pretty good here. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you for submitting. I watched that movie last night. Yeah, I mean, you could watch it 1 or 2 times a month, and it would be, it's good to do that. So, yeah, we're gonna crush him this week, though. I'm not worried about it. Travion or Ricky Pearsall at flex in a full point PPR league. I would go probably still Travion Henderson. I don't know. Pearsall. That's really tough. Full PPR, I'm fine going Pearsall there. I'm worried. I mean, is Henderson going to get 6 targets, 6 receptions again this week? Like, if he doesn't, Pearsall's probably the play. We go Mike Evans or T. Higgins this week. Got him, I think, ranked really close to each other here. T and Mike Evans back-to-back here. T versus Jacksonville is too appealing. I think I'd probably go T. So, T or Swifty? That's another good question. I'd probably start T. Could you tell me why you think Ridley or Javonte or Ridley need a bit more convincing? Look, when it comes down to it, like if I have an opportunity to start a running back in my flex spot, I always do it because I think it significantly raises the floor of your team when you have a guy who is guaranteed to get 15 touches this week versus Ridley, who is going to get a lot of targets, but he's only might only end up having 5 touches. And so with Ridley, a lot of times with wide receivers, you're starting in your flex spots because of where you're starting them, because they are the flex spot level guys in fantasy football. You're betting on touchdowns or you're betting on big plays. Ridley's going to have either 10 receptions or have a touchdown or a big play. Whereas with Javonte, he's probably going to have enough points baked into his floor just because he's getting 15 carries and he's going to have probably 3 targets at least. So I just like starting running backs in my flex. So, but again, if your gut says to go Ridley, please go Ridley. I'm just telling you, I start my running backs in my flex. Tracy or Warren, go Tracy. Chuba or Hampton, you go Chuba. Travis Hunter or DJ Moore, you go Travis Hunter. Yeah, I can check in a DMs here in a bit here. Start 3 wide receivers, 2, and then flex 2. Well, you gotta go J-Mo and Calvin Ridley, and then you're flexing 2, you go Tracy and Pittman. Wilson or Rodgers? As in Russ Wilson versus Rodgers? I'd probably start Rodgers there. Bo Nix or Dak? Dak this week, playing the Giants. Pick one, Kamara, Ibuka, or Sutton. You go full point PPR. Kamara is right there with Sutton, though. I'd go Kamara. JT or Trayvon, you go JT. Pearsall, Evans, or Sutton, you go Sutton there. Mason or Pittman, I would probably start Mason. Kamara, Cook, or Hampton, you're starting 2. I would go Kamara, and I would go Hampton this week. Tough matchup for James Cook. So... start 2 here, Javonte, Shaheed, DJ Moore. Return yards are scored like PPR yardage for this league. Well, I mean, I still would probably start Moore and Javonte, to be honest with you. So, should I start Fields or Mahomes? I would start Fields. Mahomes has got the Eagles this week. It's going to be a tough matchup. So, Waddle or Pittman? I mean, I would probably say Pittman, even with the tough matchup. So, it's very tough. So, starting 2 here, Dak, Rodgers, or Goff. I would go Dak first, and then I think between Rodgers and Goff, we have Rodgers ranked ahead for this week because he's playing Seattle. I'd go Rodgers. So, appreciate you, Cassius. All right, Odunze or Ridley. Go Odunze, Travis Hunter, Dylan Sampson. Go Travis Hunter there pretty easily. Travis Hunter pretty easily. Fields or Baker in a 6-point passing. 6-point passing, I go Baker. A.J. Brown, Hollywood, Myers, and Harrison. I go Brown and Harrison there. Brown and Harrison. Spoon's got a start-sit question here for us. Tight end, Bowers or Fannin. You go Bowers there. He's playing. You got to start him. And then in your flex spot, it's really between Keenan Allen, Tracy, and Tillman. I would just start your running back in Tracy there, Spoon. Again, I like flexing my running backs here. So appreciate you, Spoon. Pay for JCM and Dynasty, honestly, wouldn't necessarily buy right now. I would pay a second for him. Rest of the season, Nick Chubb, Jennings, or Downs. I'm still going to say Downs there. Warren, Strange, or Mark Andrews. Warren, pretty easily there. People say I got scammed. I traded away Kyron, Etienne, and Pickens for JSN, Brees, and Worthy. You didn't get scammed. Rest of the season, let's say Kyron and Jason's a wash. Etienne and Brees, I'd go Brees. Pickens and Worthy, I'd probably say Pickens, but I honestly think it's fine. Definitely don't think you got scammed. Worst case scenario for you, that's fair. So I think you did just fine there. Appreciate you, Rody. Frody, Rody. Pickens or Hunter? Hunter. Tracy or Henderson? Tracy. Drop Chubb for Fannin and start him over Evan Ingram? Yes. Flowers or Devonta Smith? I would go Devonta Smith this week. So, yeah, that's not a fleece at all. I agree with you. I'm with you on that one. Walker over Judkins or Najee Harris? Yeah, you have to. You can't trust Walker, but you can't trust Judkins. You can't trust Najee. You got to go Walker there. Pickles or Hampton for the flex? You got to go Pickles. No, I'm just kidding. You're going Hampton. I just want to say Pickles. Sutton or Warren? And Warren for Neighbors. Oh, gosh. Honestly, I think I would hold there. Hot take. Smitty or Pickens? I go Smitty. I think I would hold there because, I mean, let's look at week 1, like Neighbors versus Sutton. $12 points for Neighbors in week 1 on 12 targets. 9 targets for Sutton on 18 points. Better offense. You get to keep Tyler Warren, who I think is going to be a positional top 5 guy this year at tight end. So, yeah. Juwan Johnson or Harold Fannin here. I go Fannin still probably. Calvin Ridley or Jordan Mason. I'm fine going Jordan Mason there this week, but it's up to, they're honestly, they'd be in the same tier for flex for me. So. I just traded Adams for Rice as someone who has Puka this team. I'm happy. Yeah, if you can make it till then, you're good, man. I'd go Kelsey. How often do you do Q&As? Not a ton during the season, but in the offseason, we try to do them once a week. So Jones or Warren rest of season, I would go Jones still. It's tough, but I'd go Jones. Just my 2 cents there. All right. Beautiful. I'm going to go. I got to set my lineups. I got about 30 minutes, and I got a lot of lineups to set. So appreciate you guys all jumping on. We've probably answered a couple hundred of those, which is what we set out to do. We will have a video for you tonight, of course, so make sure you look out for the playbook. We'll release it during the Sunday night game tonight, and then we'll have, of course, a ton of videos for you. Enjoy week 2, y'all. I hope you win your match. Be keep an eye on my match, of course. Hopefully I win my match as well. It's a big match for us. Gotta win. We're the champs of the league. We gotta defend our title. We gotta start right now by beating Mason, our rival. So appreciate you guys, and have fun watching the games. We'll see you.